So for our first game in Turin's Swiss League tournament, playing against Buntaga as the Lizardmen versus Greenskins. We have a similar build that we brought in our last Lizardmen versus Greenskins game. Basically, a whole ton of skirmishers, solar engine, Mazdamundi, and then your usual front line. I like taking these skinks with javelins, mostly because if the greenskins don't bring a whole lot of mobility, they'll be able to pick away at the sides and really bother archers. And the Saurus here will win the front line versus about everything, except for black orcs. Our skirmishers will be keeping back the skirmishers of the greenskins and hurting the archers as best they can. So pretty good luck, have fun to our opponent. Let's see how it goes. His army is relatively small, which is pretty good for us. So we mostly just want to hurt the black orcs with Mazdamundi and keep the archers back with these guys. It's going to be the name of the game. If it's a whole ton of cavalry, we have the solar engine, and I think we'll be good. Yeah, I guess savage orcs, they will win versus Saurus, but they trade about evenly from the tests that I've seen. Also, hello, biggies. Alright, so getting into the game, we see that there are indeed some skirmishers here. And it's actually a very similar build that we saw before in our last game against the Greenskins. There are some Orc Boy big guns here. And, you know, they're a little bit scary, but with our skirmishers and javelins, we should do good there. Let's see, there's no real pressure forcing me to advance. So we'll just bring up our solar engine and use that to start shooting away these priority targets. Some goblins are moving up. Let's see, but our Saurus will be very happy to fight them. Our solar engine needs to get shooting though. Looks like this hail might have been stopping it from hitting those black orcs. And the armies of the greenskins are slowly marching up. See, we continue to get some shots in at their skirmishers. Helpful. And we can begin pulling back now. Like I said, we have a nice mobility advantage. And these javelin skinks will be able to get most of their value off. Let's see, also while these archers lag behind, we will have a... we'll be able to pull a nice lead. Okay, so we can actually get a nice net here. We'll be able to catch many of the skirmishers and many of the infantry units. And you can see we've almost routed off those wolf riders there. And we've done a huge amount of damage to the fanatics and so on. So that's a very good start. Now there's some goblins engaged with Mazdamundi. But with this force sort of lagging behind, we are able to bring on our Saurus to kill the goblins. They're moving in though, especially with the stone troll support. It can be a little bit dangerous, so we're going to begin pulling back Mazdamundi there. And we can just continue to pick away at the sides of the greenskins. See, some Mazdamundi is making his way out of there. Our red cresteds will be able to trade very efficiently versus those black orcs. And as long as we keep Mazdamundi safe, I think we're good to go. See, so the black orcs are beginning to go down. We're now pressuring these archers, which would usually be our biggest threat. And I think here with these stone trolls surrounded, Mazdamundi can probably go in and get some good damage now. He's going to charge in, deal some damage to the stone trolls, and if things get hairy, he'll be able to back out. See, meanwhile, these black orcs are taking a nice engagement versus my Saurus. I'm not sure if I can really disengage with them though, so we'll just have to take it. I am really happy how this fight versus Stone Trolls is going though. They're taking a lot of damage. And we really should bring in a way to chase them off. Let's see, I'm not sure where my Pterodon riders are. They're chasing off those Wolf Rider archers right now. So a bit of a shame that we can't get to these Stone Trolls. But we can at the very least bring in Mazdamundi to charge them. But oh no, a big terror. No, not a terror. A rampage goes down on Mazdamundi. Which is a little bit unfortunate. But it wears off. And we can put a heal down on top of them. And just charge these Stone Trolls. They'll likely do a good amount of damage to Mazdamundi. Which will be a good trade for my opponent. But with our red cresteds coming in, I think Mazdamundi should be able to live. Also throw down a ruination of cities on top of these black orcs. It does more damage to my Saurus than to the black orcs, but the black orcs are what we want to deal with here, since they're pretty crazy damage dealers. And I'm happy that we're at least getting close to making them rout. See, meanwhile, in the center of the battle, our Saurus are winning very well. And our solar engine can start picking away at some Stone Trolls to get them to run. And there we go. Let's see, Skarsnik is now taking a lot of damage from Mazdamundi. We're chasing off the Stone Trolls, and this is looking like a nice first win for us. There we go, Black Orcs are gone, army losses, and GG. Cool, so that went pretty well. We brought a nice standard army, nice mix of things. Our solar engine, I think it was looking the wrong direction for most of the game, so a little bit of a misplay on my part. But Mazdamundi carried it out well. Our skirmishers were paying for themselves, or at least on their way to. So yeah, it went well. Definitely went well. We won out on the mobility front. So for our next game against Blintaga, we have a very familiar Vampire Coast build. It's one that I spent a lot of time refining and practicing. So I'm very happy bringing it in many situations. First, Empire, we have the deck gunners to deal with archers, sirens to cover the flanks. Of course, my scurvy dogs, which I always like to take two of. And a whole load of bombers. They did get nerfed, but not hugely. They'll still do a lot of damage if you walk into them the wrong way. And they will be able to hold the front line for us too, just not as well as they used to. Our handguns will be here to defend the deck gunners. We're going to go for a little bit of a, you know what? Maybe not so wide, just so that they can turn faster. And this will be a fun slow march towards our opponent. Even if we do see cannons, it's no problem for this build. We just need to spread out the deck gunners to make sure that they don't get shot to pieces. So, let's see here. There we go. I believe my hotkeys are about ready. So yeah, good luck, have fun. Our opponent, let's see if he can take this build out. There are some strange counters. Surprisingly enough, Balthazar Gelt can actually take out the deck gunners without taking too much damage. But the most common Empire builds will have a hard time versus this. Still, we'll have to be careful not to make misplays though. Our opponent is ready. He's bought an army of 1,200. So let's see what he has. Immediately, we're seeing some Pistoliers. And a general lack of cavalry, which is great for us. Let's get some shots in on the Pistoliers if we can. But it looks like they're gonna get out of range. Alright, that's fine. And yeah, I think our flanking force should do really well here. Oh, some huntsmen or some sort of range unit is firing in over there. We'll have to pull back. And we can just pick away at the Pistoliers. The Pistoliers really won't be able to get a whole ton done. And that's just because they take way too much damage from my ranged firepower. Noctilus will be moving up, and it's going to be his job to take out the to reveal these archers. We'll throw in our zombie summon behind them, start bringing in our scurvy dogs to deal with them. Our front line is getting in a lot of damage with we're getting in a lot of damage onto these archers here. They're actually advancing towards me so we can catch them with our zombies. And we can even start summoning into the back line. Should be nice. Our sirens are trading well into the cavalry. Exactly where they want to be fighting. And our deck gunners are doing okay. Some of them are getting shot up by archers now though, so they'll have to be a little bit careful. And looks like Noctilus is getting sniped out just a tiny bit, so we'll have to be careful with him. Going to start backing up, and I think we're going to try sniping out that bright wizard. Our deck gunners will do a lot of damage to him, and our handguns, we actually forgot to make them advance. Not a huge problem though, as now they can move up. The bright wizard is just about dead, and I think we have secured ourselves a pretty solid position in this game. Our deck gunners are still extremely healthy. To the bright wizard, I believe, is dead and off the map. The infantry front line has collapsed for the Empire. And as soon as those silver bullets go down, then I don't think there'll be much left for the poor Empire here. Let's just deal with those silver bullets to keep the sirens alive, to keep Noctilus alive. And we'll use our dogs to chase off these spearmen. So pistoliers are moving into support. They're getting shot up, and they'll be having a hard time. These silver bullets are taking quite a bit of damage, and now we're entering the late game. You have to be a little bit careful that we don't get kited here. Some of our forces are beginning to overextend since our deck gunners can actually advance at the moment. But it feels like we have a big enough lead where that doesn't matter too much. Our opponent feels the same way by the looks of it. We get a GG. So hopefully he'll be tapping out here, but he's still sticking around, so we're going to be playing as best as we can. Let's deal with those archers. And after they're dealt with, I think we're good. Cool. So GG. We had a bit of a misplay there. We lost one of our scurvy dogs, which in some circumstances can lose you the game outright. So not too happy about that mistake. But it didn't lose us the game. We had many wins in other fronts. For example, our build was a nice counter. We got picks on the mage. So I think we made up for that misplay there. I think Noctilus too took a volley from the silver bullets that we should have avoided. But otherwise, I think, yeah, a nice smooth second game. So okay, for our build today, we're up against Norska. We've decided to counterpick with Wood Elves. And we have a fun old kite build for us with a lot of cavalry, our archers, some spears to defend everything, and the Sisters of Twilight. Sisters of Twilight here should be quite good, since they can outrange just about everything Norska brings. And the main threat is the main threat for Norska is if they decide to rush extremely hard with a bunch of mobile units, and then they just run over my Deepwood Scouts. We do have our cavalry here to support though, so I think we should be fine. Let's see, we have our spears nearby to support these guys in case there's some sort of vanguard. And yeah, that's basically it. Glade Captain is a unit that I've been enjoying quite a bit recently. So, they have crazy anti-large, and we'll be using them to win any fights against skin wolves or yeah, basically skin wolves. They can snipe out Fimir. They have a lot of ammunition, so if Norska decides to bring a heavy infantry force, we'd be able to kite that no problem. Problem is, with an enemy troop count of less than 800, we're expecting either a ton of berserkers or maybe even a ton of skin wolves that have been eating up that money. So we'll really have to make sure that our cavalry is able to deal with them. Our opponent is ready. We'll send off the good luck have funs and see how this goes. We want fire at will off on those guys. And as the battle starts, nice, we're seeing a lot of horsemen, which is great for us. We don't have any we didn't spam Hawk Riders, which these guys would usually be good against. And it's just looking like let's see, some casters. That's about it. Our Glade Captain wants to get in there as soon as possible. Our Sisters of Twilight are getting in some good damage. Our Deepwood Scouts can slowly move into position. Keep moving up our army. Keep shooting up these horsemen. The single target mode on the Sisters of Twilight is actually getting quite a bit of damage in on them. So we'll just keep that up. Let's see here. These Deepwood Scouts can fire in as soon as those horsemen stop moving. And we trade out a little bit of damage on the Sisters of Twilight, but we get a huge volley off. And we should be able to chase off those guys. Nice. There are some dogs coming in, though, along the flank. We have our cavalry at the ready. We'll bring in the ranged cavalry, too, just to support there. And now we're not really too worried about, horsemen. We're more worried about these skin wolves. A fireball comes in on the Sisters of Twilight. We'll try juking it out. And wow, their high mobility really helps out there. See, now that the Norscan forces are getting a little bit closer, we'll just start pulling away from them. And the Sisters of Twilight can continue trying to pick off these skin wolves. See, these the horsemen can take another volley. They actually stop moving there, so we can throw down another one. But we do take a bit of damage on our Glade Guard. Bit of a shame there. And now we're hoping that we can actually get a nice ambush on these skin wolves. They see my Glade Riders, but they don't see the rest of my cavalry. Some Norscan Ice Wolves here, though, are going to cause some problems. So we'll need our spears to engage. And we'll have to be a bit careful here. Let's see, the wolves are trying to escape. But while running, they will take a volley. And we actually get them routing. So nice. So far, I think things are going very well for us. Let's see, where are the Sisters of Twilight? They'll need to be careful. These guys will continue to need to pull back. And we're seeing a big engagement over here now. So we'll support it with our Deepwood Scouts. And we'll use our Sisters and throw down a big shot onto the Skin Wolves. Meanwhile, Deepwood Scouts need to continue running. And the Sisters of Twilight should, they should probably be sniping out these Fimir warriors now that I'm looking at it. See, while Skin Wolves continue to move in, we'll send another volley with our Deepwood Scouts. And hopefully we'll be able to take them out. Let's see here. I think our Sylvan Knights should probably be more aggressive with their cycle charging. Now, Glade Captain can be more aggressive, actually picking off those priority targets. Ooh, those wolves come in on the back of my spears there, which will do some damage. And Skin Wolves are charging in now. We can get a nice volley, however. And the Skin Wolves do take it, getting quite a bit of damage. But actually, I misplayed with my Deepwood Scouts a bit, leaving them a little bit vulnerable. Or maybe not. Our cavalry is able to move in and support. And with a huge fight going down on top of these Skin Wolves, I think this will be mostly the deciding factor here. See, a pendulum or a boat or burning head by the looks of it comes down. but it just catches cavalry, which isn't too big. And our Deepwood Scouts continue to escape. Let's see, we can't really chase these skin wolves due to all the ice wolves coming our way. But that's not too much of a problem. We're just constantly routing them off. And what's it? As soon as they route 3 times, then they'll be off the map. Since units do shatter after the 3rd time. Ooh, a big boat does come in though on my cavalry again. And we have to remember to keep cycle charging. So we'll bring them in. We'll bring in our spears too. And let's throw down another big heal. Our Deepwood Scouts want to be supporting this big fight. And let's see, the Sisters of Twilight will want to be trying to snipe out those Fimir, which are the scariest things here. Some wolves are coming in too, and I might have taken a little bit of a bad fight there. Our Glade Captain is doing well, at least, though. Our Deepwood Scouts are still healthy. But yeah, we want to take a big old disengage from this. And I think we want to start using our ammunition to snipe out Wulfric. He does get a nice charge in on my caster. She nearly goes down, but just barely keeps it together. And hopefully our Deepwood Scouts will be able to take out Wulfric. Let's see, our cavalry needs to go there. And our Glade Captain wants to be trying to snipe out this guy. Ooh, some skin wolves too are actually taking out my caster here. A little bit unfortunate. But at the very least, we get revenge on those skin wolves. Some more come in now. And they do charge my Deepwood Scouts, but not before taking a huge volley. And we still have a nice cavalry advantage, but we definitely misplayed when it came to our caster there. That was a pretty risky fight in general. But with the current situation, I think we're okay. Glade Captain is fighting Fimir warriors, which is actually an okay place for her to be in. Her anti-large will help out quite a bit. And Wulfric is dying to the sisters now. So with another volley on those Fimir, I think we'll have army losses. And GG's. So there we go. There's our best of 5. Ooh. Nice. So, yeah, a little bit of a longer game with that kiting. Our big engagement in the center there was a little bit risky. We did come out on top in the end, but it was, we didn't have to take that engagement. We could have decided to, oh, what the, oh, there's a bot in my chat. Oh my gosh. 1 second. Let me just ban that out. There we go. Anyways, what was I talking about? Yeah, we had a nice kite game there. The Fimir were a little bit scary. We had to keep away from them. But I think the Sisters of Twilight did some really good sniping there, especially on the skin wolves and the skirmish cavalry. That yeah, that definitely helped out a lot. I quite like the new Wood Elf kite with these two. So, that's it for today. We won our first best of 5 in Turin's Grand Swiss tournament. The next match should be next week. So I hope you guys are ready for that. And yeah, that's about it. So you know, remember, follow, sub, so on. And that's about it. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. And goodbye.